as the economy opens back up, there's been a coin shortage throughout the country. In a world that increasingly uses bank cards, Venmo, ApplePay, and other online financial exchanges, clearly there's still a place for physical money. But did you know that there's a part of Western Massachusetts that has its own currency? Created in 2006, BerkShares are a local currency accepted in 400 businesses in Berkshire County. Its goal is to keep capital in the region and strengthen the relationship between citizens and buyers. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, I sat down with BerkShares coordinator Rachel Moriarty and board chair Wendy Healey to find out more about this unique currency.
BerkShares are a local currency for the Berkshire region in Western Massachusetts. It's a physical paper currency that people exchange at 3 participating banks. We have Lee Bank, Pittsfield Co-op Bank, and Salisbury Bank and Trust in our region. And consumers exchange BerkShares for 95 cents per Berkshire. And when they go to spend them, it's at face value. So if something costs 10 BerkShares or 10 US dollars, they can use 10 BerkShares.
Excellent. And there's a variety of places in the Berkshires where BerkShares can be used. But also I noticed the program's expanded a bit. Some Connecticut locations, even a few New York locations, kind of all over the border in that South County region. So expanding BerkShares behind the Berkshires. That's nice. Wendy, you're a relatively new co-chair to the organization. Why were you interested in getting involved?
Well, the Berkshire program is a really great way to promote local business. It's a great way for consumers and businesses to ensure that the local economy is thriving. And it's just a really wonderful way to show that we are behind our local economy.
Mm. When you approach business owners and you say, okay, we have this local currency, would you be interested in taking it in addition to dollars and credit cards that you already take? What's that conversation like? What's that exchange like?
So right now there are about 400 participating businesses within mostly the southern Berkshire region. And because we aren't really limited by necessarily the geographic confinement of the Berkshire region, you know, there are those New York and Connecticut businesses. It really comes down to folks that identify really strongly as locally owned businesses. To what Wendy was saying, you know, these are the people that make up the fabric of the local southern Berkshire economy and even the Berkshire economy as a whole. And so it's not a difficult conversation. You know, they say, we like to keep money locally. We like to employ local people, procure goods and services from other local business providers, but also they are people who are reinvesting in the community. So they're making contributions to, say, the Boy or Girl Scout Troop Club or the local sports team. And so it's not a difficult sell. It's quite natural in our community.
Wendy, when you talk to people about this process who might be consumers who are thinking like, all right, well, most of the time I don't even want to use cash. Why would I use a different paper currency? What do you say to them?
I don't think that people really hesitate to use BerkShares. First of all, it's a beautiful currency. It's got wonderful artwork on it, and I think when people first see it, they say, wow, this is something that I can actually use as currency in businesses here in the Berkshires. So I think it's got such a wonderful feel to it, and people are just intrigued by it when they see it. So I don't think it has quite the same negativity as, you know, a U.S. dollar. Like, that just seems kind of, I don't know, U.S. dollars seem kind of boring. But the BerkShares are a gorgeous thing. And when people learn that it's a way of keeping that currency flowing within our geography, they understand. We exchange BerkShares at the local farmers markets, and there was a young couple that was from outside of the region, just in staying for the weekend, and they were like, well, why should I why should I get BerkShares? And I said, well, this is a great way for you to show your support of the economy in the region that you are enjoying as tourists. And they said, yeah, you're right. And this is a great souvenir of our trip to the Berkshires. So, there's there are a lot of pros and cons to it, but I think the most important thing is that it's a beautiful currency, and there are reasons to use it above and beyond the fact that it's a physical currency.
Yeah, when you said the souvenir piece, often if I've traveled abroad, I'll keep a little bit of the local currency just kind of as a reminder, like, oh, this is what the money looked like, and it reminds you of just being there and having that trip. To Wendy's point about what is on the currency, are there any local connections there to the actual images on the currency? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so each Berkshire celebrates a local hero. There's artwork on the back by a local living artist. So on the 1, we have the Stockbridge Mohican, the first people of the region. On the 5, we have W.E.B. Du Bois, who was born in Great Barrington and whose 152nd birth anniversary we just celebrated. On the 10 is Robin Van En, and she started the community-supported agriculture movement in the country, right down the road from our office at Indian Line Farm. And then on the 20, we have Herman Melville, who did a lot of writing in the Berkshires. And then on the 50, we have Norman Rockwell, who of course we know is the great Americana artist.
Right, Melville took inspiration from the Berkshires. That's when he wrote Moby Dick there in Pittsfield. Berkshires have been around since 2006, and since that time, currency has changed. People have trended away from cash. You often see credit cards or people even paying with their phones. But there's also digital currency. Do you see those other currencies as competition? Have they been problematic? What's the impact been?
I think the way that we talk about Berkshires in terms of the complementary currency world is that it's unique to our place. It's a celebration of it. We have these local people on the bills, and it brings kind of a tangible aspect of local business life, of local community life. So we don't see it as competition. We see it as almost enhancing what our currency is, because you'll hear about Bitcoin, you'll hear about other cryptocurrencies, and maybe perhaps some of the flaws, but when you have a paper currency, it's so tangible, it's so real.
It's also not hackable.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would add to that too. I mean, BerkShares, the second half of the name is share, and that word share is very emblematic to what it is that we really want to do. Part of building our local economy is building that sense of sharing, and it's not just about having a locally thriving economy. I mean, part of the reason that we want to do that is so that we have a loving community, and we want to look people in the eye when we have transactions. We don't want it to be impersonal. We want it to be personal. We want to share.
I was looking at some other regions. Philadelphia had a local currency that kind of came and went, didn't have staying power in the long term. Ithaca has not one but 2 local currencies. Do you ever talk with other communities that use local currencies and kind of trade best practices, or just talk about the industry in general?
Yeah. We're in regular contact with many local currencies and have become a resource for many because the Berkshires model is so successful now, 14 years in. And I think that success really comes down to the business community that participates, the banking community that participates, and ultimately the consumers, because there's such cohesion among that group. And so people come and ask us what our best practices are usually. So it's been a great way to further that conversation around what's the importance of money in a community, and how do we actually help and leverage this tool as a way to build community wealth.